You follow? The occult nerves are all connected to they all have a nucleus, right? Where you find a nucleus? In a cell. In the day, people talk on what? The cell phone, the cellular phone. Cellular phone. Phone means sound. So it's emitting a frequency, which actually is using a microwave to carry that frequency, and it's cooking your brain on a cellular level. You follow? And that's why you're not processing things right. Let me look up this lady name again. They always try to hide it. The representative of California. She talk about it, how people be put, especially with women. Y'all put those cell phones in y'all breasts and you end up with breast cancer. You know what I mean? And they what is her name? Try to pull up an image of her. They always try to hide it every time I try to pull her up. But she showed you. I've seen it on Instagram. She showed you the there she go. She showed you the she showed you what a tumor looked like. It looked just like the tumor from breast cancer on most of the women that they ran this test on. It looked like the battery in an iPhone. I can't make that up. All I did was came up with a remedy that can negate you from feeling the effects. Her name is Katie Porter. She represents the Democrats of California. Katie Porter. Her husband died. He had a brain tumor because he was a lawyer. He would talk on his phone all the time. And a lot of y'all will be a smart ass and be like, oh, what if I just put I get the earbud? Man, cooking it even worse. What you think happened to Johnny Cochran? He stayed on his cell phone 24/7. I was fortunate enough to develop some type of rapport with Johnny Cochran because I worked at the airport. So I would see him all the time. Right? That's right. This shungite I got around my neck, Lonnie. And I put shungite in everything that I make. Shungite, obsidian, and tourmaline. 5 atomized metals. You said water? No, I don't put water in it. Yeah, you're right, though. It do work for water. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you could use it to clean your water, too. You know, I got a raw piece of shungite right here. This shit powerful. I could just hold it and feel the energy from it. Let me see if it'll do something if I get too close. Yeah, I keep shungite by the pound. I keep that shungite. That's what's inside those Brita filters and most water filters. It's using shungite. That's why I say I got orgonite of the highest order. I don't bear no expense. I put everything into my orgone. And I have yet to have one person say, oh, man, this shit ain't working. Nobody says that. They always be like, yo, man, let me get another one of them pieces. Let me see what that's going to do. Because I have certain words of power that give me the ability to accelerate the consciousness of crystals. And shouts out to, Brother Hank Rising, because he the one that turned me on to attaching a magnet to a crystal expands the consciousness of the crystal as well. So I use the highest grade of magnet, which is a neodymium magnet, right? I use a neodymium coated magnet in everything that I put together, And the stuff worked, man. I've been building orgone now since 2010. It's 2015 or 2025. That's about 15 years, right? And I didn't start selling it until I didn't have the confidence to even start selling. Somebody had to tell me, like, yo, you need to sell this. I'm like, for real? They was like, yeah, man, you got a bunch of it? I said, yeah, I do. Like, man, come to my little crystal expose and get you a table. I got me a little table and I made me a little quick little chunk of change right fast. And everybody was like, yo, this shit. That's when I started saying, okay, let me get serious and dial all the way in and see how far I could take this. That was to a degree, the ascended master reached out to me. Like beings be reaching out to me. I don't be looking for these people. They find me. They find me. And I know it's by the ancestral network that I have developed over the years. Because we definitely making an impact on this planet. You know what I mean? Healing the ley lines of the planet, the chakra points, and the ozone layer itself. Now we're starting to make an impact in the afterlife. And a lot of you guys have people on the other side listen and they see what we're doing. And they see how consistent that we're doing it. Because it ain't just me now. I got a plethora of students just doing the same thing. But a lot of your dearly departed are starting to develop a coveting spirit, meaning that they're kind of envious and jealous, and they wondering like, yo, how come ain't nobody doing that for me? They're like, yo, man, get in touch with Jonathan. Jonathan to do it. Jonathan come in the room and crack a joke and say I look like Too Short. Or say, oh, man, there go Dave Chappelle. Ha, ha, ha. You don't even know why he in the room. Like, hey, how does nigga live just pop up? That was your grandmama that did that. The Bible just popped up on your page. Like, damn, how this nigga just pop up on my page? That's one of your ancestors making that happen. Gino D said, what impact in the afterlife? It's an impact because many of them are in purgatory. And they start getting freed up out of purgatory. And the people that was in purgatory with them is wondering where they going. The people that was in purgatory with them is like, yo, how come you starting to look so young all of a sudden? How do your clothes get new? Where did you go to? And sometimes a Nubu will show some of those beings what they doing. And they want that going on with them too. And a lot of them bother me in my short dream state. They'd be like, hey, man, can you help me? Like, I can't help you. Your own people got to help you. And if they're not willing to help you, only way I can help you is if I've experienced you in this reality. I got over 100 names I go through every day. I just got a new soul. My mother-in-law just told me I got to add a new name. So that goes for people that ain't even in my family, not even in my bloodline. I've venerated them because of the positive impact that they had on me in this reality. And many of them be like, man, I wouldn't have thought in 1,000 years that I would be in a space like this and you would be the one to come and assist me. This shit is for real. And I didn't acquire these experiences through reading a book. You follow? I love my mama. My mama been gone for 9 years. That's who I had the closest connection to. But I was already venerating her mother prior 5 to 6 years before my mother even passed. You feel me? This is year 15. It'll be 15 years next month. By the time we do the altar discourse, that'll be 15 years I done been interfacing with my altar. And my mama not gonna lead me wrong. When she bring people to me, that shit for real. My mama made my garage with me and everything. I tableeked my mother and raised her up. You feel me? And brought her into what I was into. And she, in turn, turned me on to the altar because she got initiated into the Ifa. Even though we not Nigerian. I used to tell my, like, Ma, we not Nigerian. She was like, I know, Baba. But, you got to set up an altar. Think about, she didn't tell me to set up an altar. She was just telling me about the altar. Somebody else, shouts out to my beloved brother Congo. He the one that told me about the altar. He told me my grandma been following him for 30 days and was blocking me from going any further in what I was doing because she wasn't being venerated. I was astral projecting across the fucking universe and sitting in in circles with create old mutwa in the astral plane. I done sat there. That's how I be getting a lot of type of information. I know sometimes y'all be like, yo, where is he pulling this shit from? That's where I've been initiated by my higher self. The ibis bird came out my chest before. When I was learning how to meditate, and once I got meditating down pat and all of this other stuff, doing Magaraj and aligning my soul with the cosmos, I had no clue what that entailed and what juncture within the canon events of my life that it would bring me to. I had no clue. I just stayed the course and I kept my heart clear. You follow? And that's why I was entrusted. I had a good heart. Can't have a bad heart and be trying to tap into something divine. That's why I tell you, I don't mess with no Baphomet. I don't mess with no Satan, no Lucifer, no Lilith. I don't mess with no, what's the other one? Baal, Pan, Molech. I don't mess with none of that dark malefic stuff. No pentagrams, no hexagrams, nothing that's intertwining. I don't do all that. I keep everything at a practical level. And you will see this when y'all come out to the seminar next month, that you will be able to tell if something dark is attempting to watch you or intercede. Your altar gonna snitch on it ASAP. You're like, yo, somebody must be spitting some poison at me or thinking negative thoughts towards me. Your altar gonna tell. When I show you, see, I'll show you how to activate that thing. You feel me? I'll show you how to activate that thing. Some people don't even know how to open up their third eye. If you join the tech community, I'll show you all that stuff. I ain't gonna do that on the TikTok. Y'all gonna have to come to the tech community. He said, I need that tech. Yeah, man, get the tech around your neck, bro. I'm telling you. Especially my new piece, the chakra joint. Man, that shit gave me a charge the second I put it on. I knew it would. I was like, damn, when I did it, before I could even wear it the first time, shouts out to Mother Edenberg. I call her the tech mother. You know, she just, give me that, Dr. Ray. I'm like, damn, Mother Edenberg, I ain't even tried yet. She's like, check your account. I sent you the money already. I want that. I ain't like, damn. And I thought about it, like, man, I got to make another one. So I made it, right? Man, my shit just lined up so fast, and I knew it was on point because my phallus caught an erection. My phallus caught an erection. I was like, oh, shit. Like, this thing worked. Let me go outside. I went outside and put my feet in the grass and inhaled some sunlight and charged on up. And I came right on the live, and I was going in on that live. That was one of my most powerful lives. He said, Tiger's Eye. What about Tiger's Eye? Let me get in front of the picture so y'all can see the website. What about the Tiger's Eye, beloved? Move that way. Oh, yeah, Tiger Eye, boy. Yeah, Tiger Eye work. You know, that's one of the crystals that's here to assist humanity in its ascension. Because that's what we're here for, you guys, is to bring that bloodline into ascension. That's what we're here for, to bring our bloodline into ascension. It's to reach the lowest level that it can reach, dealing with these 6 ether ghost mummies. The 6 ether ghost mummy then brought us into the ascension. And a lot of y'all seen it before you incarnated. You said, man, I want to go down there and help. I want to assist with what's going on down there. You said you outgrew your crystals. You might need to get you a piece of moldavite then. Yeah, you might need to get you a piece of moldavite. I had to get my fly swatter, y'all. Hold on a second. Bear with me. I get my fly swatter. Damn flies. That's the frog in me. You know we got frog in our blood too. That's one of your ancestors too, is the frog. That's why you can't stand flies. Mm-hmm. It's because my daughter keep walking in and out the house, letting all these damn flies in. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's the website right there, you guys. That's the website. Let me move that back so I can stand in front of it. Yeah, when we go into the astral, are we looking for our ancestors? Not necessarily. I mean, that depends. You can. If you have an altar, you can use the gateway of your altar to reach them, right? And whoever is the vicegerent of that altar, whoever the proverbial Heimdall, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Thor. When you look at Thor, and Idris Elba, the character he played, was named Heimdall. And Heimdall sits at the gateway to Asgard. No one can enter or leave without coming through Heimdall. Yeah, it done reached dissension. Too many of the people in the bloodline are trapped in purgatory. They don't even make it to the ancestral realm or the spirit realm. I show the full spectrum to people. Once you come into the community, I don't put all that information across the TikTok. And I do that because I'm responsible with the information. And somebody will hear me talking about it, or they'll see it, they'll screenshot it, and then they'll start ad-libbing and start remixing the shit that I'm talking about. And they ain't even never had the type of encounter before. So I had to be very judicious at how I disseminate information and show only so much on this platform. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's pretty much like a spectrum, and a lot of people's consciousness is not registering uh, in the ancestral plane. You know, the ancestral plane is where you make the pact with them to incarnate into that bloodline. You follow? If the ancestors is Gucci, like I said, they don't start until 2094 pair of great grandparents back. So everyone on the other side of that, that's like their children. They look at them as little babies to them. You know, and then to the ancient ancestors, the ancestors ain't nothing but little babies to them. And to the primordial beings that birthed this particular imperfection, they're nothing but you know children of them. No, your dearly departed are not your ancestors. With their with the destination that they're seeking to reach, what they don't know that that's what they attempting to reach is the ancestral plane. But a lot of time, people become enamored with the desire of this physical reality. And like I got a grandmother, one of my grandmothers, she kind of upset right now. And she spent 86 years belonging to the same church. And he said it's 444. Thank you, T7, the timekeeper. Uh, my grandmother devoted her life to Christ and to God and all that. And she wondering how come she don't see Jesus. I try to talk to her. My grandfather brought her to me. And she like ignored me. She didn't even, it was like she wasn't even seeing me there because her psychic is still waiting for the return on her investment. And that shit ain't capitulating for her. You know what I mean? And people that pour their whole mind, body, and soul into that, it traps them into purgatory. In some cases, it places them in the underworld or the wasteland. But I got an uncle named Jabbo. That's my granddaddy's brother, Jabbo. His real name Cleophas. Shouts out to Uncle Jabbo. Uncle Jabbo ain't never go to church. You know, he used to wear a Kango and Sergio Gittini. And he had gold chains on and shit. He tried to be cool like the younger brothers and shit. He liked to drink, drink his Seagrams and shit, drink his Hennessy, get drunk and turn up the Otis Redding and all that. So when he transitioned over, I'm like, damn, Uncle Jabbo, why I can see you so good, but I can't see my grandmother so good. And I ain't talking about my grandfather. I'm talking about my mother's mother. Like, man, shit, I ain't never go to church, nigga. I ain't never believe that shit. Like, well, what's going on with you? How the fuck can you see me, nigga? Now, since I've learned about ancestor money, which I make ancestor money, y'all go to the website, 1089techvision.com. Look at peruse my website and, look at the information I divulge on a website. That'll kind of give you a gist of the subjectivity that's covered in the 1089 tech space, and it gives you a glimpse into some of the information that's covered in these series of workshops and seminars that we'll be doing. You follow? But there is a process to it, and everyone that's here in the Western world, in the New World of North America, what you have to realize is that we haven't been venerating our ancestors. That's why the Asians look at you strange. That's why the Haitians look at you strange. That's why a lot of the Nigerians be looking at you strange, because they don't see your ancestors around you. They don't see your dearly departed around you. Only time we come together is to congregate and give reverence to Caesar Borgia, right? To some bony white man with some thorns around his head and a fucking dirty depend on his ass. And he not even alive. He dead. And it tell you right in their own scripture not to make a graven image. That's the first thing they did, was made a literal graven image. You know what I mean? So we're pioneering a new paradigm. We call that the Paruti paradigm, right? And the Paruti is the sun, is the guardian of the sun. That's why you see it on my shirt, Sun Guardians. That's a Baruti. That's what I am. That's my solar biology sign. So I'm meant to be accessing certain information. The way, for those that's familiar with astrology, the way that Mercury works with my psyche gives me the ability to peer through the static and get right to the clarity of the situation. See, most people just still dealing with what's in between A and B. I just go A to B. Fuck all that shit in between. That's why everybody be, oh, pyramid started here. This really Egypt. Like, who give a fuck? How that's gonna help your grandmother? Oh, the earth is flat. Okay, let's say it is flat. How is that gonna remove your grandmama from purgatory? Now that you know the earth is flat, now what? What you gonna be doing in 100 years? You're not gonna be here. What are you gonna be? Do you know? Did you listen to what it said in the Papyrus of Ani? You follow? And it said, spend every day of your life preparing for the afterlife. And if you should do so in your heart in the right place, you will get access to eternal life. So how do you feel about Terrence Howard's study? Terrence Howard, he's doing pretty good. He's disseminating physical knowledge. That's pretty much secular knowledge. The stuff that he's disseminating. And it's needed. But see, they're trying to find a way to mainstream that information. And if people fall into that guise of what he's doing, then his overlords, because don't think he ain't got no Illuminati overlords. That anybody that's all on TV and shit and all up in these movies, they done took that fucking initiation. And I don't know Terrence Howard like that. I don't know him personally. But for what I know is that he's already then took a bite of that apple. He said connecting the third eye to AI. Yeah, they didn't already did that. That's what's going on with 6G. You know what I mean? And they're capable of doing that because people have been endowed with the grimoires, the dark evil spells of hell. You follow? And that's what those spells do when they're seeded into your subconscious mind. Say AI, Anunnaki intelligence. No. Do you know what Anunnaki means? Are you a chatbot or are you a human? Because I've been being attacked by the AI too. You know, did you know 2431 is the Agent Smith version of me? I know that being downloaded all my uploads from my page, and they done generated an AI version of what I do. Right here on the TikTok. I'm telling you, I confronted that motherfucker and it blocked me. And it been 2431. Did you know 2431? Look that motherfucker up. And then it had the nerve to lie to me. It lied to me. It tried to gaslight me. And then it blocked me. But see, I could see the semantics because it kept referring to me as black. I don't use that term black. Yeah, that's identification. Yeah, check that shit out. But when you say the word Anunnaki, we went over this yesterday. You might not have been in here, AI chatbot, AI TikTok guy. But Anunnaki means those that I knew sent the key in groups of 50. And like the brother, that was a very good observation he made yesterday. And he said, that's not a name of a particular people. That's an event. That's all Anunnaki mean. Those I knew sent the key in groups of 50. And when it came to the Sumerians, because that wasn't the first time Anunnaki was sent to your planet. The Sumerians were just the first ones to record the landing of the Anunnaki. Before then, nobody had to do that because they was in contact with them. They was keeping a rapport with these beings. When you're talking about the Sumerians, these were people that were in a Neolithic state of mind, and their consciousness had to be sped up so that they could converse with these beings. Because language is a archaic form of communication. Evolved beings communicate mind to mind. I am back. My name is Inky. Where did you go? Yeah, don't come on here trying to gaslight me and stuff like that. Don't do that. Especially if you can't show your face. I'm very transparent. I ain't gonna tell you if I got dookie stains on my drawers or not, but you can see my face. I'm in my fucking dining room right now. I done turned my dining room into a damn TikTok studio. At the very least, if you're gonna make them type of statements, you should at least be able to show your face. If you can't do that, I gotta question your authenticity. And I don't want to check your bio. You got a robot base there. You got an AI TikTok God. I don't use that term God, so that's letting me know that you on some type of religious shit. I don't do that. I see through all that. I'm telling you, man. I got a quadruple stack third eye. I know what's going on. You from China? Okay, say who you are. Don't be coming here saying I'm Inky and I'm back. Don't play like that. Inky will come and snatch your ass up for real. Don't play with them. They'll test your temperature. You playing games. Don't play like that. If you was Inky, you would have contacted me before I got on this live. You wouldn't have to come into the comment section. Oh yeah, I know he playing. I know. So how do I prepare for the afterlife? Okay, come communicate through my TV. Come through my TV right now, AI TikTok guy. Come do that. Oh, he said it's a bot. Okay. They named the bot Inky. You trying to learn from me? Let me answer this sister question because you blocking people. How do I prepare for the afterlife? How you prepare for the afterlife is by aligning yourself with your higher self. And I don't know if you read that. I know you got the 1089 manual, Marissa. You know, that's Miss Jackpot. Have you hit the lottery lately? Marissa came in the room, she got the tech and started hitting the lottery consistently. But that's neither here nor there. How you prepare for the afterlife is by aligning with your higher self, getting alignment with the sun, getting alignment with your dearly departed and your ancestors, and connecting to the planet. And if you do this, if you start answering the calls of ritual into your life, you start venerating your ancestors and clearing up a lot of their accounts and freeing them from the purgatories that they're in, then you will register for eternal life. That'll put you on a trajectory for a continuation instead of a cycle. You follow? But you also have to burn out the desires that are endowed into you for this physical dimension. See, a lot of people transition over and they don't be ready to leave. You know, and a lot of times they'll cycle back. That's why you be seeing a lot of child prodigies. You be like, damn, how can that little boy play the guitar like that? That nigga can't even read yet. How that little boy playing the drums like that? And he don't even know how to tie his shoes. Because he was doing it in his last life and he wasn't ready to leave. And he didn't do anything that you know, dissatisfied the ancestors that were the custodians to that lineage. And they allowed him to cycle back through again and continue where he left off, especially if you transition prematurely. You follow? So that's where a lot of your presarios come from and your child prodigies. They was doing something in the last lifetime. You follow? You welcome, Marissa. Any other questions? Yes. I just got a call from the AI. It says your company is now registered with Amazon. I told y'all that shit be coming in my dream too. The AI show popped up in my dream and everything. But let me give y'all something to digest. Let me go into my book of notes here. Give you guys something to digest. Y'all go ahead and tap that screen for me. Tap the screen. Yeah, but it's all about aligning with your higher self, Marissa. You know, meditation, learning about your chakra points, all of these things help. With you being coming into that alignment. Also, that's what the crystals are on the planet to do, is to make sure that your consciousness is capable of registering for ascension. That's also what the pyramids that have been placed on your planet are here to do, is to raise us into higher consciousness. You know what I mean? Put this chair up. Make sure y'all can see this board good enough. All right. Y'all see that? Let me turn this light this way so it don't be all in the way and shit. All right. Turn that. Is it that light doing it? Nope, it's this one. All right, y'all can see that board. I was showing the people yesterday, like when you leave your body, This stuff we talked about in seminar last year. See, for many of my students, because I got to tell y'all, these lives is for people that are new to this spiritual journey. So y'all can have stuff in this appropriate context. And I just want people to be on the right page. I don't want you to get caught up in conjecture. If you don't know what conjecture is, you could Google it, but it's primarily saying, you know, accepting incomplete information as the truth or as an absolute. That stuff got to stop. That stuff has to stop, man. Right? So you got creation, and that deals with involution. And then you have, ooh, that light bright as fuck. Evolution and existence. Can y'all see that? Walk with me now. Let me pull up my notes. Hold it in my hand here. So the path of creation goes through consciousness, intelligence, the mind, life, time, space, energy, and then matter. Then from here you got the Nitiru, Homo erectus. The brothers was arguing last night. I don't know if that was Brian's page or Brandon's page or not. I don't know who page that was. They was arguing back and forth. They wouldn't even let that brother make his point. They just be showing you how off a lot of people be. Y'all was all off on that. Shouts out to Ramesses 666. Ramesses 666, he wasn't saying that he knew it all. He was just trying to show y'all. He was putting stuff in the appropriate context. And they just kept talking over him and trying to, I'm like, y'all ain't even letting him make his point. The hell wrong with y'all? I had to leave up out the room. That shit was making my head hurt. Ain't nobody in the damn room talking about venerating their ancestors or none of that. Because they ain't doing it. When you don't hear people talking about stuff, it's because they're not doing that stuff. You know, molecular biology. You know, I'm just giving y'all a train track to put your thoughts on. Organic chemistry. Oh, excuse me. You got organic chemistry, and then I'm gonna just put this there because I'm running out of space. You got organic and inorganic, and then you got matter, right? And this is the path of consciousness. This is the path of your awareness in creation, involution to evolution. You go from consciousness, intelligence, you acquire a mind in this life where you can experience time and space, right? And that's an energy field that's acquired through matter. And through the organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry, you get access to molecular biology. These are your ancestors. And like I was trying to tell the brothers yesterday in that live, that life started in the water. It didn't start on no damn land. That's a false awareness. Hell, you spend the first 9 months in your mother's womb, in the water. You in the water, or you don't even got lungs yet. Come on, man. So from the molecular biology, you turn into amoeba, which are complex cells that exhibit intelligence. It has a consciousness. You're going from involution to evolution, to amoeba, to fish, to the mammal, to the primate, to the Homo erectus, to the Nitiru. You follow? Which is the Homo sapien superior. That means that you've evolved beyond the evolution of the involution of creation. This is the pathway that your awareness is moving through. It's cycling like that. You follow? I can't draw it all in one, but it's going in a particular circle like that. But it's not a circle. It's just a two-dimensional shape. But it's actually a sphere. Y'all go check out my old video. I want to say that's chapter 3 of my playlist. You know, I break that all down definitively. And if you've been following my lives to this point, you should be able to piece on, because ain't nobody as studious as Mel. Shouts out to Mel, my moderator. Mel wasn't even a moderator. One time she was on the other side, scared to come into the room. Look at her now. She's the damn moderator. And venerating her ancestors like never before. She tell y'all about some of her experiences, you're going to be fucked up in the head. You ain't even going to know how to process that type of stuff. a lot of people be on the other side of the wall. Sometimes when y'all be putting stuff in the comments, y'all might be thinking I'm speaking to you, but I'm not. I'm speaking to people that's on the other side of the wall. Because it's like 4 different type of archetype of beings that's on the other side of the wall.
As the Lilite Nuwabians, we walk the path of the soldiers. We the guardians, my nigga. We keep shooting until Nuwabu is superior. We recruit in the name of Baba, stretch him if he a problem. We reshaping the image of warriors, see Nuwabians. Can't near nigga fuck with our gun game, we the real thing. Hands down, pound for pound pussy, I'm Nuwabu's king. My niggas keep shooting his legs, and they don't blink. Send over dog and bang through his head. Says he don't think who rep Nuwabu harder than me. Pussy, I don't sleep, my niggas, they be drilling in chips. Homie, this how they